Welcome to the Keeping It Real podcast with Sulma, the swearing therapist. Hi, I'm Sulma Williams, a licensed clinical social worker who likes to keep it real and swears a lot. Today, I want to share more of my adventures in Panama. Actually, I want to make a comparison about the healthcare system between Panama and the US. As you know, I've been here for a couple of months, so I don't have health insurance yet. And I made an appointment with a gynecologist for the wellness check that we women supposed to have once a year. So for all of you women listening, if you haven't made your appointment, I encourage you to do so. And I had the visit with the doctor. She did a pap smear. She did a transvaginal ultrasound, which is not commonly. I used to have that done in Argentina as part of the pap and the gynecological visit. But when I moved to the US, it was just a pap smear and the breast exam. So I was like, oh shit, like they do it here too, like in Argentina. So the pap smear and the transvaginal ultrasound was, and the breast exam was $130, 130. And she ordered me a 3D mammogram, given my breast cancer history, and a bone densitometry. So those, the bone densitometry is usually ordered for women, for people who have osteopenia or osteoporosis. They just check your bones. And I do have both. I do have osteopenia and osteoporosis because during my cancer treatment, I was chemically induced into menopause at age 46. So I am, now I'm 60, but I've been having a lot of issues with my bones because it's like, oh, your body doesn't go through this until you're 60 or 65. So she ordered the 3D mammogram and the bone densitometry. So I asked how much the 3D mammogram was, and it's $90. And the bone densitometry is $68. So I check the prices for these tests in Nevada, because that's where I used to live. So I'm not going to make it to the US. I specifically look for Nevada, and the 3D mammogram that I'm going to pay $90 for in Nevada costs $368 out of pocket if you don't have insurance. And the bone densitometry that I'm going to pay $68 for is $185. The pap smear, just the pap, not the transvaginal ultrasound, in Nevada is $222, and I pay $130 here. So we are talking about, like, just for the 3D mammogram alone, you are charged 4 times more in Nevada if you don't have insurance. Now, when I had insurance, I was paying $400 a month, and that fucking shit didn't cover shit. So even with insurance, I will probably have to pay around $200 or $300 for the 3D mammogram, which is part of my follow-up. I had fucking breast cancer. The fuck is wrong with you? That fucking creep, like, it was just a shitty health insurance that I was paying $400 a month for, didn't even cover my pap smear. That is part of the wellness check for the women. So I am just like I don't even know what to tell you. Like, I am glad that I made this move. I needed to take care. I had to have this bone densitometry done probably a year and a half ago, but I couldn't afford it, and the fucking insurance will not pay for it. So, if for nothing else, moving here so I can take care of my health and have all the preventive testing that I need in order to make sure that I'm healthy, and that, like, when you have cancer, when you have a history of cancer, there are a lot of shit, even without the history of cancer. Women should have a mammogram and a pap smear, and check with your doctor, depending on your age, when you should start. But these are like basic shit I'm talking about. And I'm I'm at a loss for words, because it's like, how do you justify that you have the same fucking machine, right? Because if you're gonna do a 3D mammogram, it's like you have to have the same kind of fucking machine. Why do you charge 4 times more when I don't have insurance? Like, justify that. Explain that to me like I'm fucking 3 years old, because I honestly don't get it. So, in addition to living by the ocean and sleeping through the ocean wave sound and waking up to the ocean waves sound, this is another reason that is kind of like I'm patting myself in the back for making the move, because the last mammogram I had when I was in Las Vegas was through the Mammovan, which is for women who don't have insurance. And I didn't have to pay anything. That was free, but it was not the 3D mammogram. It was a 2D mammogram, which is basic mammogram, but it wouldn't detect like tiny things, which is what I need, given that I do have a breast cancer history. So I invite you to reflect on how different, and it's like that is something that happens a lot when we travel. Like, I used to say, a poor person in Argentina is different than a poor person in the United States, because it is true. But it's hard to explain it, because if you didn't live in Argentina, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? A poor person is a poor person. But when I start comparing these things, it's like it blows my mind. Like, traveling, I'm not saying fucking move to another country like I did, but traveling in general opens up your head, because you don't believe the shit that you learn in other cultures, and especially if you are living in a different country. It's like, oh shit, like, this is not something that normally happens in America. Having lived half of my life in Argentina and the other half in America, I found living in America, I love living in the US. I love that like, you have a better quality of life. But now that I'm back to Central America, that I moved to Central America, I'm not back, I moved to Central America, I can take a look to the US from a distance, and it's like, yeah, you know what, you do have a better quality of life, but if you have the money to support that. Once you own your own business, like I do, so I don't have benefits. I had to pay for health insurance out of my pocket. And as I said, I was paying $400. This is a year ago, so I don't even know how much it will be now. But I'm paying fucking $400 a month, and it's like it doesn't cover shit. So what am I paying for? Where do those fucking $400 go to? So now I don't have that, but I use the fucking $400 and I have a lot of change left to have all the tests that I need in order to take care of my health, right? And again, these are preventive measures. This is not like I've been praying that I didn't have to go to the ER since I canceled my insurance, because for like a lot of months I didn't have any coverage. So it's like, you know, you're on your own. Like, and I'm sure that they will not allow me to die. They will have taken care of me. But the added stress of having to go to the ER when you don't have medical insurance, all the mental load and stress that represents. It's like, okay, they are not going to allow me to die. And at the same time, I'm going to be ruining my credit because there is no health plan available to small business owners where we can pay a reasonable monthly payment and have some of the coverage that other companies offer. And that's why a lot of clinicians put up with fucking systems that they are not getting paid enough and like they're exploited and all that, but they have health insurance coverage, right? Like, so I want to mention this because, as I always say, when you are in the picture, you cannot see the picture, right? Like, so now that I'm not in that picture, I'm not longer living there, I can see this so clearly, and I think that is pretty fucked up. So let me know your thoughts. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if you do have insurance. If you don't have insurance, how the hell do you navigate this? Especially if you're a woman. So men have a lot of testing and they had to get the prostate checked and the blood work and all that. But we as women, we have a lot more shit that we need to get tested on. So please let me know your thoughts about this and how are you navigating this, and especially if you're a small business owner, how the fuck are you doing that? And I don't even want to imagine how difficult this might be if you have children. So as always, thank you for the support. Thank you for listening. Please share, like, subscribe, whatever the fuck you do with the platform that you are listening to this podcast in. Follow me on Instagram at the Sweating Therapist. And my website is dragonflytherapyservices.net. And as I always say, if you woke up today, that means that your mission in life is not complete. Keep putting one foot in front of the other, and you're going to come on the other side of the challenge you're currently facing. Please, I love to see your comments, and so communicate with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.